Hello, welcome back. In this small video, let us try to understand uh, permanent way. Permanent way, or popularly known as PW, is the name given for railway track. Let's define permanent way. A permanent way or a railway track can be defined as the combination of rails. You can see these are the rails and fitted on sleepers. These are the sleepers and resting on the ballast. These stones are nothing but the ballast and subgrade. Down below that you will have a subgrade. See, sometimes temporary tracks are also laid for carrying earth or other construction materials. Now, let us see the components of a railway track. Um, to start with, the gauge. Gauge is the clear distance between inner or running phases of two railways. I mean, two rails. So there are three types of gauges like broad gauge, meter gauge, and narrow gauge. Majority, most of the railway tracks are broad gauge only. Narrow gauges are maintained in hilly regions for tourist attraction and to for heritage, preserving the heritage sake, etc. Now, coming to the rails on the track can be considered as steel girders carrying the axle load, that is the wheel load. And there are three types of rails as shown here: double headed, bull headed, and flat footed. Rail joints, two rails in the longitudinal direction, they are joined by leaving a small gap in order to facilitate the thermal expansions by means of fissure plates. Actually, these are the weakest portions of the track. The ideal thing is a perfect rail joint is one which provides the same strength and stiffness as the other section of the track. Now, let us see the sleepers. Actually, sleepers, we just saw that down below the rails, there will be sleepers. You can also see in this photograph, sleepers are laid transverse to the transfer direction to the rails. Rails are supported and fixed on them, and they are laid to transfer the load from the rails to the ballast. Ballast is the collection of stones and the subgrade. Excuse me. There are three types of sleepers, like wooden sleepers and metallic sleepers. Nowadays, we are not using, Indian Railways is not using them. And concrete sleepers, the one which is shown in this photograph, being most popular. And coming to the ballast, you can see down below the sleepers, you can see the ballast. It's a granular material which will support the basically sleepers, which will render a firm foundation to the sleeper, and ballast also facilitate the drainage of the entire track. Lastly, the track fittings or railway fixtures and fastenings are used to keep the rails in proper position and to set the points and crossings properly. You can see in the photograph, um, fish plates and um, spikes, bolts, chairs, and keys and plates, bearing plates. So you can see the photograph of a narrow gauge track in Darjeeling. Thank you, and we will meet in the next video.